Okay, so we're gonna start now, and whoever joins us later, well, at least you're not gonna miss the painting. So I'm Karina, and let me first introduce you to Pictas. Most of you heard about it, most of you know about it. So Pictas is a multicultural community of creators, which includes photographers, artists, and just all the creative people. You can, there is a lot of information on our website, and we keep adding more and more. We have a special page for instructors, and you can read about all the instructors on our page, which is really nice. Like if you're signing up for the webinar, all information, and there is a link to the instructors page. So it's, thanks to Harry, it's all done just perfectly well. We're really growing fast. So check us out if you haven't yet, and join us because we love new members. And honestly, we've got so much good planned for the next season. Well, I'm not going to talk about this right now. This is up to the management. But a lot of really exciting things are planned for the future. So just join us now, so you can be part of it. We would love to have you all. It's people are great, activities are great. I mean, I just can talk about Pictas forever, but we're not here for that, right? All right. So let me just tell you a few things about myself, and we'll get to work. So I started painting really early by painting on my mother's walls. And that didn't work really well, although I tried very hard. So my mother really didn't like it. So, but I was very persistent, and I kept going. At some point, she had the really busy kind of floral pattern installed on the kitchen walls because she just wasn't a big fan of my frescoes. Well, that's all right. I did a few later, a few murals, and that was more appreciated because it was custom orders. But honestly, I switched to canvases and paper. And that actually worked really well because now I'm happy to say that I do my work. I love doing it. Well, I have my own website, mexpressa.com, and all the information, as I said, is on Pictas website. Just to check us out. I'm represented by a number of galleries, and I also teach, and I really love teaching art. So I used to teach regular in-person classes, but since the pandemic started, well, we all had to kind of readjust and discover the Zoom, and it actually works really great. So as well, we all had to readjust. Zoom does work. So, and I'm really actually happy that we found it, because now I'm not limited to people who live in my area, but I have students in different parts of the country or even different countries of the world, which is really sweet. I really like it. All right, so I think maybe we'll just get started. So we're gonna, I mean, this course is called the Introduction to Acrylic. There's so much about acrylic that, well, we'll take lots and lots of classes. But here, there's different, acrylic actually is very forgiving paint. If you make a mistake, you can easily cover it up. So that's good news. Now, there is different methods. You can use a palette knife if you want something like thick and textured, which I do not. It all depends on what you like. I do use the brush, the big brush, the mop brush, and of course for details I use little tiny brushes like this. Or my favorite brushes are the fan brushes. I feel like this is just all I need is in my life, just the fan brush. That really works well for me. And the different ways. So, and all artists kind of try different things, and then eventually they find what they like and what works for them. So I think I discovered mine. I'm very minimalistic. So for me, it's mainly not the elements in the picture. It's just the blending and the interaction of colors. So, but it doesn't have to be yours, you know. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use learn about blending, because blending, we all need the blending. Even if you choose to put many elements in your painting, you would still need blending for your background. And I did make us a few little samples here. Let's see. So that's just a different, it's kind of like little size bookmarks. See, it's all done with 2 colors, because that's kind of what we decided to do today, not to go deeper into this. And there is a different color here. There we go. So, and suppose you want to put something else there, like a tree or whatever. Well, this is your nicely blended background. Because what we want to avoid, we don't have to have stripes, you know, white here and blue there. We don't want that. So let's get started then, okay? So we're going to make something. Well, this is my quick thing I made for us. This is really quick, just like as an example of this blending, and I added a little bit here just to kind of, but you don't have to do it. So let's get our colors, and I'll get a clean canvas, and we're gonna get started. And let's see, one more thing. One more thing before we get started, if I could play that video for you, so you can see what we're getting into. Okay, and let me get my video. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, it might take a while. I'll keep playing to the end. All right, let's get started. Okay, so what we need is just a paper plate or a palette. You don't need to have this a palette. We don't need to have a palette necessarily. A paper plate or anything will do. So we all have our big brush, right? I think. And what we're going to do now, so we would need to, so I'm going to pick your color. It doesn't have to be blue. It can be any color. So we do need white. And I'm just going to put this white in this plate right here. And let's see, I'm just going to get some blue. But again, just pick whichever color you like. So here's my blue. And it can be any other color. I'm just trying to make it simple. So we're going to talk normally. So suppose you want to have some kind of landscape. Well, there's some rules in painting. Well, like say your horizon line should be kind of like maybe 2/3 down. However, a lot of artists happily broke that rule, and you can have a very low horizon line, or you can have a high horizon line. You can have it in the middle. Just kind of optically looks nice. But I think today, so we can practice the blending, we might just kind of have it more or less in the middle. Now, we need to wet the brush. And by wet, I mean just a little bit, because see, now it's kind of dripping. You see that? So that's what we need to avoid. So we need to make it down, just like that. Because otherwise we're just going to be dripping water on the canvas. And those drips, which can happen, are really, really hard to get rid of. All right, so nothing is coming out here. See that? Just try your brush and just let's go. So I'll start. Well, I do this stuff when I do it for myself a little bit different, because I kind of, and if somebody wants to learn from me. I do offer classes. We can just do it my way, but I kind of blend every single layer individually. But let's just dip it in our blue, and I'll start with our dark color, whichever one you have. It's red or green. So dip it in. Now nothing is dripping. And I'm just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. You can, you see, I'm gonna make some mistakes intentionally. See the drip? That's at the bottom. That's okay. So we need to avoid that. Just we do need water, but not too much water. And so we're gonna go back and forth, back and forth. It does not have to be horizontally. You can kind of go in those, you know. It's all eventually gonna blend. So let's just cover half of that with blue. Okay, and tell me if you guys, and we would need layers and layers of that, obviously. Now, see this kind of, that means I need more paint. So this is not going to be my best painting. And I'm doing it intentionally so I can make mistakes and you can see how we're gonna fix those mistakes. So this kind of gives me the idea. See the drips? There we go. Quickly get them off. Don't need drips. And if you do, just get rid of them really, really quick. All right. Okay, so tell me, guys, if you are more or less here. And also feel free to ask questions now. Interrupt me whenever you want to, because this is not like something we can leave for later, you know? If there is some kind of problem right now happening, just ask. And go again back and forth, so we don't get those, see, the lines. I'm doing it intentionally right now, see? We don't want those lines, so we just need to get rid of all of them. And later on, when we start blending, it'll go away, but just go really quick, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna get, normally, if you switch to a different color, we need to kind of rinse the brush and clean it out a little bit. But I'm not gonna do this because I'll dip it right now in my white. See what I'm doing? Because it's gonna get blended anyway, so no reason for me to have a totally clean brush. And I'm just gonna start adding this white here first, all the way up. And then we're gonna blend it. Just a bit. And now this kind of trick, see, we can get this. Basically, I'm just gonna drag this color. See, it looks kind of messy, but that's good. I'm just gonna drag this color all the way up. Looks messy, but it's okay. Add some more white here. And now I'm just gonna keep going back and forth, back and forth. Add some more white. And as I go up, I'm going to add more and more of that white. So it'll lighten up. It'll start lightening up at the top. And then I'll add a little bit more, obviously. This is just beginning here. There. Okay. And again, guys, if you have any questions, just answer. ask me questions. Okay, now see, I'm got my white here kind of on top. Now I'm just going. Now, some of those, this is all intentional. This is good because there's no such a thing as just one color in the sky, right? So we're just gonna go back here. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more blue. Let's see. Okay, now see what have I generated with my drips here? So I'm gonna get this covered up. And see, now I'm not using any more water. My brush is wet enough. I don't need any more. So just back and forth until you just don't have any kind of annoying little things. Yeah, see, well, to me, this optically doesn't look very good when it's in the middle. I would normally put it somewhere like here, but since we're trying to have more space for blending, let's just keep it in the middle. And it doesn't have to be a straight line, you know. Technically, if you want it this way, you know, you see that? Suppose you want it somehow like that. That's also totally fine, you know. So basically what we're doing, we're just going and going and going and going. So now just let me cover up what I. So just back, if you go like this, all the time, back and forth, it's gonna give you this smooth transitions. Because we don't want stripes, that's what we really don't want. All right. So like this. Now I think I'm gonna add a little bit, what is it called? I'm gonna add a little bit dark to my, which again is totally optional. I'm just gonna add a little bit darker color here. Just see, I'm just mixing my my blue with black. And actually it's really fun because you can buy all kinds of colors, you know, whatever colors available, but it's really fun to just mix it to the point that you like, you know what I mean? And don't be afraid to make a mistake, because if you don't like it, you can just always repaint it, you know what I mean?
Karina, maybe you have a list of all your colors and where I can buy these colors and paintbrush, and maybe you have a list?
Yes, I do have a link, and we actually, I had a link, but then we decided to make it easier. I have a link to actually Amazon, which was originally planned for us to have, but then we decided to make it simpler for people and just, you know, have two colors. But I will send the link and we can put it on Pictas, right, Harry?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because we did have that Amazon list, which is actually useful. It's like the beginners, the starter kit. But then we decided to make it easier so you guys don't have to go shopping. So we decided to just connect.
Perfect.
You have two colors, but so I will send, as soon as we're done, I will send Harry a link and we can have it on the website, because it's really useful. Because I mean, two colors is okay, but it's always nice if you can get something else, you know. See, I'm just, and don't be afraid, you know, just play with it, enjoy it, have fun. Because see, I'm just making some kind of absolutely new different color here. And I mean, this is a joy because it's just fun. And you never know what you're gonna create here if you just keep adding your layers and layers, you know? All right. And see that it kind of, and this it changes right now. So now it's kind of a little bit darker, which is again kind of nice. And then I'm gonna outline here a little bit. And here we can use a small brush. I'm gonna kind of outline our horizon line just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be again the straight lines. Now here I'm going in this big strokes, just to kind of give us a little bit of a definition. You see that? And I mean, we're not trying to make a C here, but just we can add some little bit, you know, making waves and sea. It's a completely different story, you know. But we're just trying to.
Before you start painting, or it's only you begin to paint and then you decide how you want to go, or do you have a picture before you start the painting?
That's a great question. I usually, you know, guys, I really get inspired by photography. So, I mean, it just, you cannot believe how much you do to me, really, you photographers. So I get the picture and I'm like, oh, I want it. And I start doing it and then, well, I don't like really copying. So, but it gives me like a really great inspiration. Like I usually have something in mind just because I saw it somewhere, you know, on a photograph. But then I kind of just maybe move away from it. But photography is amazing, and a lot of you guys are photographers, so you can technically just take your favorite, you know, go to your favorite place, you know, your kind of happy place, take your own pictures, and then just come and paint it, you know. I mean, it's really fun. It's just a lot of fun. So, and let's see, I might just add some here so we don't just totally just blend it. See, I'm getting my little fan brush here, but it doesn't have to be fan brush. You can just put a little bit, just any kind of sort of some kind of grassy, whatever, weeds or something, just to get some definition, you know. I very often, another thing, Sky, you can do, if you take a good picture of the moon, and I know a lot of you do that, I do love moons very much, and if we have another painting session, I can show you how to do a really, really cool moon. I don't know, I'm really in love with the moon. So, and then see, we can kind of extend this down here, just for reflections. And you can take your small brush. Okay, and then just kind of get it all there. Something like this. Just a little bit. Basically, just play with it. And I'm intentional. See, I don't like it. There we go. So basically just layer and layer and layer. We could put some clouds in there if again we want to, and putting clouds, let me get some cleaner here. Putting clouds is kind of nice. I like those. I'm very minimalistic, so I like sort of this type of clouds, you know, but just kind of just gently roll them in here. Just see, I'm just barely touching. Or if suppose you want like those kind of fuzzy clouds, you can just take a big brush and just keep going. Yeah, I'm just showing you like all kinds of techniques because Some people might want to have like this nice fuzzy clouds. Yeah, they don't go well together, right? I'll cover it up. It's just I'm just trying to show you all I can in this short period of time.
I feel really relaxed now, Karina.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun, guys. And I mean, most of you I know like are so creative, and I mean, photography is art. So I mean, I think it's just what you really need to do. And I tell I really love teaching. It just maybe that's the main reason. It just people come so scared and they think, oh, I would never do that. And just it's not that complicated. You just need to kind of just love what you do, like with any job, you know. Yeah, I'm just playing. See, now I made it darker. And you see how interesting you can change the mood of your painting by just say adding, wow, here's a dark, scary clouds. You know what I mean? Or you can, I'm just making you on purpose something different here. So that's kind of one mood. But suppose I want a nice, happy day, you know. There we go. I'm just gonna make a lovely white cloud, you know, without any black on it. You can make it in a shape of a dinosaur or whatever you like. I mean, it's really, really relaxing. It's like after like a long day of work, there's your rain clouds kind of, you see that I mean? Let's make a rainy day. There you go. You see that? Just basically just play with it, you know, it's really, really a lot of fun. Yeah, sorry about my mess here because, but I really want to, we don't have too much time and I want you to get, you know, as much as you can out of there. But again, I can just cover it up, you know what I mean? That's the good news. And another thing, guys, you don't need a canvas necessarily. There isn't, I mean, I use the canvas only when I do something like 20 inches and above. But if this one is a 12 by 12, the one we have now. So you don't really need a canvas. You can do it on thick paper, like, and I will send all that also to Harry so it can be included in those materials. Just thick watercolor paper will do it all. You can paint on boards, you can paint on anything. The canvas is just, I do have and see this easel is very small. I have a big one for big paintings, which I don't want to necessarily put right now, but that's all. You see, suppose I don't want the clouds, there we go. It's still not a lost painting. You know?
Karina.
Yeah.
Do you also bring your feelings or how you are feeling into your painting?
Yes, I mean, if you guys sort of like on my website, there is a mission statement. And what I try to do, I guess it says that it kind of projects the feeling of peace, serenity, and tranquility. So this is how, well, being honest with you, this is how I want to feel. But I don't feel that way often. I get stressed, frustrated, whatever. But this is what I paint is what I want us to feel. You know, we just need to somehow find some peace, you know, in our lives. Does it make any sense, guys? And we're just trying to all kinds of things, and we're just getting, you know, frustrated, but we need to find peace. So for me, this is where I find my peace. Seriously. And that's how I want to feel, but unfortunately, I don't feel that way all the time because, you know, we all get our frustrations and, you know what I mean, disappointments. This is how I got rid of all those clouds, just to show you that what we can do. So there's no clouds, but my blend is still here. That's kind of our main thing. See, my blend is still here. I basically completely changed this thing, you know. There we go. And I just keep blending and blending. When you feel like, no, I don't think I'm ever done, but when you yeah, that's another thing I need to tell you guys. You need to figure out that you're done sometime, because very often we keep going and going and going, and it's already good enough. But all of us artists feel like, oh, I can always do better. So, and very often by doing that better, we can kind of destroy it, you know, because it's good enough already. So at some point you need to stop and kind of walk away and just let it be there, because, well, I mean, the truth is that it's not math where you can come and make it, where you can come to the answer and it's done. Here, it's just, I mean, there's always can do. Now, look, I'm getting it. There's always something you can do better, but at some point you need to stop. Now I'm getting a clean brush. Totally, it's not. See, it's not and not wet.
And
right?
Karina, that's really cool that you can just visit everything already painted by painting over it. So
Exactly, yeah. And guess what? It's you can really paint over it. So, and if it's a little bit I mean, if it's sometimes, yeah, I don't do that. For me, it's really I can just paint over because I don't put too much. But if suppose you use like a palette knife and the strokes get really thick, then you can just take just the sandpaper. I want to show you the block here. Yeah, take the sandpaper or this sand block. If it's, you know, some things are sticking out, just sand it a little bit, paint it in a whichever color you like, and start over. Yeah, you can always start over. So there's not such a thing as you can do that much with paper. That's kind of the privilege of a canvas that you can. See, I'm just totally changing it. And I'm doing it intentionally, guys, so you can see what can be done. Just keep going, keep changing. And just remember, it's really, you need to enjoy it. You know, this is just not some kind of school where you get grades. So you can kind of enjoy it. And the other thing is that if you make a mistake, you know, it may not necessarily be a mistake. By just trying different things, you're learning. I mean, there's no such a thing that you learned it all and now you're doing it. You know, it's just you learn every day as you're doing it. You see, and then kind of look, so do you like it? Or maybe you want something, I don't know, add some purple in there, you know? So it's blended pretty well, don't you think? So that's kind of was our main idea. At this point, it's kind of blended well. So, and then once you totally consider yourself done, you can just go into those, you know, random strokes with a dry brush, just to kind of smooth it all out. You know? So that's a really nice blend. So that's kind of like a background. So if you want, again, let me just show you. Suppose you want some kind of tree there or something, then all can be done. Let me just something here. So see, I'm going really, really, very, very gently because I don't want a big tree here, right? But just something. Then I can always cover it up. You know? So if I just want something, you know, and or some kind of flower or whatever it is, and it can all be added later. So just something like that. And this is, but suppose you have a flower or some tree that flowers. Look at this. This is my fan brush, and I can use it sideways. Look at it. That's how we can make those little tiny flowers or whatever. See that? Just gently touching it. And if I want them more kind of defined, let me get into blue and I'll show you. Just on top of it. You see that? Just to kind of make it. Yeah. Very, very gently. Tap, 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 tap. And then we got a literally nice little tree here, or flower or whatever. And then of course we'll define this, but I'm just inclined to get rid of it, just showing you, you know what I mean? Now let's see how I'm going to get rid of this. See, suppose you don't like your flower, your tree, you didn't like it. Okay, there it goes. You see what I mean? So there is not, you know, and it happens a lot once you start adding elements. And okay, your tree is too wide or whatever, right? There you go, it's gone. You see that? Just mix it in, so it's gone. Or like we can have a flower. Yeah, I'm trying to minimize the colors now, but basically speaking, we can, if we want to, just have some little, you know, like weeds growing out of here, kind of randomly. And say maybe, let me get some other colors since I have more colors here. And so I'm going to get red now just to show you. And I'm going to put my red right in my blue. Yeah, see that? And I'm just going to mix it. Make some kind of, something a little maybe purplish. And then, let's see. There we go. Just make this nice. Nice little weeds here. There we go. And say if you find them too dark, which I do now. There we go. Lighten them up. Just by tap, 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 tap. And just try to kind of make them skinnier at the ends and see that? There we go. Something like this. Or if you want, they can kind of, suppose you have some kind of like a pond there, they can, your leaves can go down there, you know, like a willow tree. Isn't that cool? There we go. Like a weeping willow tree, something like that. Just tap, tap, tap. Oh, I like this willow tree. All right, so let me get rid of the tree now. Now see, I'm not afraid stuff. Now I put a little red here, that's fine. Kind of purplish. Which I did not do intentional because, but since I added that red to my flowers, I kind of like the reddish a little bit. So, there we go. So that's our blend. Okay, how's it going? Anybody did something so far?
Yeah, I've painted onto paper.
You know, the great thing would be, guys, I think we can do it for Pictas. If you, when you finish, then it dries like now, so it kind of shimmery here, but you know, acrylic dries really fast. So when it dries, if you guys could take a picture and send it to us, I was thinking maybe we can make like a collage with those paintings and put it on, I don't know, Instagram or whatever, social media, kind of something that we all did together, you know? If you could just email us the pictures, I would love to see what, because that's the one thing I don't like is that I can't see what you did. So I would love to see your first attempt, you know, and we can even make some kind of collage and put it on social media channels. That'll be kind of cool. Okay. That'll be cool. All right, so anybody wants to put something here? What you guys want to do?
I feel like I finished mine because it just, I was just really peaceful and I've just kept the blends.
Wonderful. So did you put anything on it or did you just?
No, I
blend
just
it?
did the blends and I feel really relaxed, like I've had
I
meditation.
know that's, no, that's kind of thing which really attracts me. I just like the blend, and then usually, you know, like I'm showing you, the way I blend, I just kind of go layer by layer, you know. So now I'm just intentionally adding some different colors, and then I just blend them all kind of. I usually myself start from the top, and then just blending just every, like, suppose I'll do it this way, right? Then I'll say, well, maybe I need some more red here, right? Then I'll add it in. So I kind of keep blending all the way down, you know? So
And I'm trying to paint now a boat.
There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
Boat with grass and yeah.
I know. It's, and then, you know, it's really, what you can do is like, you do the background and then you put a little boat, you know, and you don't need to have a, you know, some kind of big serious boat. Just all you need to do is just kind of draw this, you know what I mean, and just a simple sail. Just one sail kind of, you know, boat, let me show you. And then it's gonna be a reflection, obviously, here, right? So basically, it's let's see. And you can have a sail. Like now my canvas is kind of wet to wait, but you just so you can get an idea.
Can you turn a little bit your because of the sun is blending the.
Oh yeah, see that now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, you can just kind of, now this is not a good time to do this because my my paint is really wet, but it's kind of just little boat, you know, and then you can put a reflection down there, and you know, yeah. It's too early for my boat because
Nicoletta Tiga also wrote in the chat. I just one moment. She wrote, "I just did a little boat." Nicoletta. Yeah.
Yeah, the boats are just lovely, you know what I mean? And it does not have to be, you know, we can do it kind of in a minimal, that's kind of how I do it. We can do it in this very minimalistic way and kind of abstract boat, just pretty much, you know, just a sail. And I have one of those paintings. I think it was on Vero. I think people saw that. It's a blue painting with a red boat with a red sail. You see how relaxing, you just like you can never stop, right? And then all the blends are going. So I do put some other colors obviously in it, and you can see it on my website. So it's not just two colors, you know, I tend to add some more just to kind of give some brilliance to that. Yeah, I just don't want to overload you for the first time, but you know, kind of going slowly. Like if I have my students, you know, the first time we do, you know, a little bit and then move on to something else and to something else and to something else. Very cool. So, all right. So, and again, if you guys can send us your pictures, you know, we can put them on our social media channels, and I think that'll be just wonderful. And look at our website, join us, because This is a beautiful community. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even a photographer, but I just love all our Pictas members. And again, I can't say anything because I'm not a manager, but so much is planned for the fall that okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but there's a lot. So stay tuned. We're gonna inform everybody about all the new things we're gonna offer. Including not just one webinar, but we're gonna be offering courses. So you can like say, suppose you like what you did now, well, you can, or some photography, something, whatever, then you can kind of explore it on a deeper level, like maybe 5-session course, something like that. Okay. I guess I just can't keep information, but it's okay. But it's exciting, something to look forward to. All right, so look how nicely blended. All right. Okay, so any questions, guys? Feel free to ask anything, what else we can do. And if you do put some kind of little bolt or something, that will be just lovely. Want to play that video. You can see like the samples on my website, you know, of what I do. And of course I post on Instagram. And if you have any questions after this, how do I do this or how I do that, just don't hesitate to contact us, you know. I'm always happy when people are interested, and you know, I reply really fast. So just any questions you have, just feel free to ask us. We're always happy to respond, because that's how we learn. And we learn together, just like it says here, right? It's really fun to learn together. And if you're gonna come next time, bring the kids, because kids can also learn. I think I know that we have some kids here.
Karina, we've got a question for you.
Yeah, go.
So Marina's saying there's something wrong with her microphone, but I'd like to know it's wonderful to watch you paint. I'd like you to know it's wonderful to watch you paint. So she's really enjoying that.
Well, thank you so much. It's one of those things I really love doing, you see, and I'm just playing with this, showing you just all the good things you can do. Let me just, since we've got a few more minutes, let me show you how to do. I wouldn't be able to show you that on the cameras. Yeah, we're almost. Huh?
Oh, go on, you go first.
No, yeah, we could just say if you want to move, you can just, I mean, we don't need the moon here, but we can add the moon, you know, just kind of drag your brush like this, and it will make you a circle. If you're not comfortable making a circle, that's fine. You can get some kind of lid or something, you know what I mean? And see, now I'm going kind of deep with that. So, and now obviously color it up late, and then you can add all colors to that moon, you know. So whichever moon you like, but that requires water. Well, I think that's for next time, because now it's gonna start dripping. This type of moon has to be on a flat surface, not on it. And you see what I'm doing? It's not dripping yet, but by just stepping now, that needs a lot of water. It'll start dripping, but it's okay. Oh, it doesn't drip. And you can just, so the more water you get, the more of that texture and kind of zigzags and stuff you're gonna get in this. I'm just showing you with black and white, so you can see better. You see, you can even get some kind of, that's another good trick which we can maybe do later. This is that it doesn't have to be on the moon, but you see what you can do with water. Isn't that cool? You see those things? Just like the texture. That's not something I would need in the moon, but it's just, since it's all wet already, I'm sure you can just get this kind of like a...
Hi, Karina. I'm
Hey!
unmuted.
Ah,
Oh, I love to watch you paint. Thank you for unmuting me. I thought it was my problem.
no.
It's
Yes,
so
thank you,
relaxing
Karina.
and
This has been-
inspiring, and wow, I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed, because this is, I think we all have something that we love doing, and I mean, it's really great to share, Like when I watch the photography webinars, I have no idea. I have a cell phone, I mean, literally, I don't even have a camera. But I'm just, wow, this is just people so excited. And I mean, it's really great to share what you love and what you do. So, and you can all do it yourself, As you can see, what I'm just doing right now, I'm just going back and forth. Well, it's working. And then like when you and the reason
I have a question for you, Karina.
Yeah, wonderful.
You know my problem. My problem is not knowing when and where to stop. So
I know.
what makes you decide to call it a wrap?
Yeah, this is actually, I think it's everybody's problem. And I am an unfortunate perfectionist, so I just really don't know when, but at some point, okay, like say now, I definitely have to stop. No, unless I want to put a tree, but the background is done perfectly well. I really have to stop, and you just need to understand that. So, you know what I mean? It's like there is nothing we can do anymore. You really need to. And for me, it's a big problem. So I just have to really stop, just make myself stop. It's like almost you just can't. But at some point, no, just look. You kind of look at, oh, you know what? You look at it, and then, I mean, if there is really nothing, like, well, suppose there's like a speck, see that? Okay, that's not good, then it has to be covered. But if there is, like right now, there is, to be honest, there is really nothing I can change. I mean, I don't need to. I can add something like a bowl, but it's for later. So at this point, I need to just put it away and look from a distance, look at, and unfortunately, when you look from a distance, you'll find something else. That's my second step. Now I'm looking from a distance. There is really nothing else I can do unless I want some elements. Then just consider it done and walk away. Like, yeah, I think this is just all because I mean, it happens to me actually. That I can quote my friend Deb. Deb, are you here or not? I think she's a great artist, and she said, well, sometimes, I finish my painting and I'm comfortable with it, and then I walk away for 2 hours and come back, look at it, and only to realize that I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Deb was planning to come today. I don't know, maybe she'd make it, but and she's a great artist. I mean, I just love her work, but I feel totally the same. And I have this problem with my husband. I'm saying, okay, I'm done. Can you take a look? He goes, takes a look. Well, says he likes it or whatever, or he actually gives me good advice, like, well, you need to do this, to do that. And then he considers us done. And then he comes back 2 hours later, says, oh, where did it go? I said, oh, I repainted it. You know what I mean? That happens, but guys, we just need to learn that. You know what? The funny thing, we're really damaging ourselves, because I had 2 instances. Then I repainted. I didn't like a painting, but I guess I liked it enough to put it on Instagram. It was 2 times in my life. I put it on Instagram, then I didn't like it and I repainted it. And then both times somebody said, oh, can I buy that? You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, I can't say, oh, I didn't like it. I repainted, because it's kind of insulting. So I actually had to say, oh, you know what happened? The dog destroyed it. Well, I have a lovely dog. It doesn't destroy anything. It's just me. You know what I mean? because you don't want to insult people that well. I did like the painting. I said, well, my dog destroyed it. It's not available anymore. Do you know what I mean? So just because you are just not 100% happy, it doesn't mean that others are not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just I mean, so I'm just preaching it, but you know, it's easy to preach, but hard to do it.
I thought that you might have some secret.
I think it's all every artist's problem, you know. And if you don't have that problem, well, you're not gonna get very good. You know what I mean? To be honest, I mean, it's a good problem to have. I mean, I know it bothers us, but technically that's how we generate something decent, you know?
Yeah.
Because we immediately like what we do, like a 5-year-old and put on a refrigerator. We're not gonna learn anything. So I guess it's a good problem to have. I mean, it's hard for us, but it's a good problem to have. Really. You know what I mean? So it's like, and Marina, you can just tell me. Sometimes there's my good friend Marina here. She's a brilliant sea painter from Greece.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and sometimes you know she will just send me a picture. And, you know, well, I just don't like it. No, I mean I'm not alone. That's something I'm not alone. There's so much frustration, you know. And if you watch my, like if you ever watch my Instagram stories, you probably know who I'm talking about because I post her paintings a lot. And if you look at her paintings, well, that lady probably should have never, ever any frustration. Well, guess what she does, you know, right, Marina?
Yeah, you're perfectly right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, you know, it all looks very nice and pretty when it's done and posted on social media. But all those hours of frustration, I look at my hands.
Lovely hand. A piece of art. A piece of art.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's all, I mean, it's all like that. We're all going through this. But if I say, sorry, Marina, I'm just telling you, getting you as an example. But if I didn't know you that well, I would think that she never has any problem. She just makes a beautiful wave and off she goes, you know? Apparently not, you know?
You're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, just, you know,
Thank you.
just be yourself and, you know, you'll find your style. I guess I found mine. This is just, you know, that blending is just my thing. But some people like, you know, all kinds of elements. Maybe you like flowers. I do flowers too, often. But kind of my thing is, you know, this. But I do flowers, I do all kinds of things. But I just, for some reason, this gives me just the serenity which I don't have, you know, at least temporarily. And then you're back to your problems, right? So anyway, so there's so much here. And there's a palette knife, which, you know, you can use, which gives you really, really good thick strokes, you know, but that's all, whatever, you know, it's all for later, obviously. I just kind of try to give you as much as possible in this 1 hour, but okay, just, you know, as a palette knife, you can, you know, just start putting all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean?
Painting?
Huh?
So we can see your painting.
Okay, oh, sure. I started talking. I guess I didn't plan to do it. I planned to do it. Okay. That's so see, I just can stop it, right? Even now. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, you can do the palette knife. If you don't have a palette knife, guys, there you go. The, you know, old credit card or gift card or key to the hotel, that'll do it. You know what I mean? And temporarily, you know what I mean? It's good to have a palette knife. They come in different shapes and stuff. But like if say you want right now, well, any temporarily a gift card or whatever, we'll do it, or a hotel key. I actually save them, you know, just, you know, to have a clean one and then I throw them away. Anyway, so I think that's, I guess, I'll leave this thing alone. We're actually running out of time anyway. So I'll leave my thing alone. I think it's kind of done. Well, it's not done like, no, I can probably do something else with it, but for now, let's just consider it done. And okay, so that was the one I did for us. Let me show you. I think I showed it to you.
Karina,
Yeah.
have you tried using a newspaper to add textures?
Yeah, you could do, there's all kinds of things. You can use, you know, aluminum foil, you know, you can use all kinds of things. Yeah. Textures are really
Cool.
fun. You can just use all kinds of things. There's so many tricks. So that's what I'm saying. If we can, I just kind of tried to pack all I could in this 1 hour, but I mean, there's really, really a lot of tricks which we can do. There's aluminum foil, there's a, plastic wrap can be used. Even, it's funny, even balloons can be used. You know, like you blow a balloon, you can use them. They just, well, fingers work really well. That's the best. The best tool is your own fingers, you know. So, I mean, there is just so much going on. So, yeah, I just hope that maybe we could, you know, sometime in the future.
Yes,
get
excuse
some
me,
more.
excuse me, Karina.
Yeah.
Is it now dry? The place you're painting right now, the bottom place. Is it dry by now?
Yes, it's dry by now, but see, that's what
Yeah,
dry, but
the
not
the upper part. I think you worked later on the upper part, but the lower part must be dry by now, right?
no. And the way, see, I don't mind damaging it. See, it comes. It's not
It's
totally.
still
dry.
not completely dry.
Yeah, not completely dry, but at this point you can already add some whatever grass or trees or something. It's always a good idea to wait. I'm not particularly patient, you know, with waiting. So maybe that's why, you know, the style kind of without any elements appeals to me, you know. But technically, it's better to wait till it's dry, and then you can use, let's say, if you're scared of the brush. No, I mean not scared, but you know, sometimes, you know, it's harder at the beginning to draw a line with a brush, but there's all those lovely markers, you know, like special watercolor markers that you can, if you're like afraid of, you know, drawing a line straight, you can just use those markers. And but then in that case, it has to be really dry, you know, just to kind of, and I mean, nothing wrong with those markers, you know, they're really nice. And let me see. They're called watercolor markers, so you can just literally draw your straight lines or whatever, just at the beginning, until you kind of draw enough to be able to just, you know, draw a good line, you know, without it. But, you know, but sometimes people have, you see, that's not quite, is it that? I'm not getting the color, I'm just, so it's not quite dry. So if I, is it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, you see, so it's not dry. So that's, I'm just kind of showing. So it kind of gives me the mark, but doesn't. So kind of for elements have to wait, just not too long. I mean, there's a way to speed up the process. Just get a hair dryer, you know? Yeah, seriously. Get a hair dryer and it'll dry it. But on the other hand, I guess we should be able to wait. However, I often use a hair dryer because I'm very impatient, but it's not good. Yeah, so the hair dryer works if it kind of has to be. When I teach kids, and this is really funny, when I teach little kids and they really just can't wait, then I put it in the microwave for a few seconds. I'm serious. Because they want to take it home. I guess the plan is that, well, they have to stay overnight and then they can pick it up. But they want to show mommy, I understand it. So I remember, I'll just put it in the microwave and they can take it. I mean, we can YouTube, but, yeah, but we can wait. All right. Okay, so I think, well, I'll consider this thing done. I hope we learned something today. And if you still have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank
Yes,
you.
it was great. Thank you very much.
It's great.
Thank you, Karina.
Well, thank you for coming and just, you know.
Thank you, Karina. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you, guys. All right.
Thank you, my
Can I
dear.
just, can I just say that
Okay. See
that-
you.
if anybody wants to know more about Karina, There's a great article in the magazine, the Pictas magazine. So I'm just going to post that in the chat, and you can all have a look at that and find out more about Karina as well. Thanks,
Oh,
Karina. Brilliant.
that magazine, guys, it's just amazing. I mean, Nikki and Cecile did. I mean, I'm just so impressed with that magazine. I just love it. Take a look. It's really beautiful magazine. It's not. I'm not saying it because I am in there. There are other people there, but it's just really done so professionally. It's just. I mean, really amazing. Okay, so check us on the website. There's so much there, and well, I hope seeing you sometime in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Karina.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wonderful.
Karina.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.